amongst the bevy of issues that we're seeing with this and concerns with all this, and I chatted with Stripling about this earlier, and he had mentioned what do you say, the way they're doing it, it feels like it's going to lead to a crummy product on the field. And you're putting the brand, you're putting players in positions where, that's what I told him. He had asked me about it too, and I'm like, you wonder, players are going to start getting upset. They're going to get mad at each other. Like you start to lose the clubhouse or something like that. There's just so many bad variables with this, where as much as we want it, is it a good idea?
I was actually surprised at the response from some fans on what Kershaw had said. There was a lot of people that were like, what the heck, man? Like, you're supposed to be the leader. And it's like, dude, I don't even have kids, and I totally understand this. Like, I don't have kids, and there's no way, like in any sense of the form, that I would miss the first 4 months of my newborn's life to play baseball. Like, it doesn't matter if you're making $30 million a year at that point. It's like, you can make $30 million a year. He's still going to make another $30 million the next year anyways. And on top of that, he's never going to get those months back with his newborn kid. Like, how can you fault the guy for choosing his family over his job? Like, I don't think I want the guy that chooses the job over his family.
I will play a little bit like the bad guy on this a little bit. Okay.
You're a dad.
Yeah. This is his third kid, right? And my my second child is gonna replay this video later on in her life for me. But I will say this: it's like, maybe the first child, like, you don't want to miss a single moment. You want to see all those little things, and I would say month 3 is probably was one of my favorite months of the first year. That it was fun because you can finally see the personality come out, and they like stop looking like a little alien, But like, I think that's the part where if this is a third child, I can see like missing month 2 through 4 or like 4 through 6. Like, it's not too bad, especially if the kid knows that you're out there making $33 million in one year. It's like
a counterpoint to that, Gary. He's still going to make $33 million next year, regardless. So
which is why I think
if you had made $30 million for the past 10 years or however long he's been making grip of money, like, you'd feel fine about missing a year of baseball. You'd be like, whatever, like, I'm worth $150 million right now,
right? Which is why I think this year, which is why I think it was kind of wrong for Sportsnet to put Kershaw in that position to answer that question. You don't you don't ask the richest guy in the clubhouse, hey, you want to miss out? Oh, hell yeah, I'm still going to get paid $33 million, and I don't have to play. I'm going to save a year of my contract.
Well, that's the thing. They're not getting. Isn't that the whole thing? Is like, nobody's getting their full contract if there's no season beyond May. I don't think anybody's getting paid.
There's no agreement in place
right
now.
I'm sorry.
Now it's just $170 million through May. Right. That's pretty much where it's at. I'm sure things are going to change, but
what I would have liked to see. And it's not my money, so it's going to be really easy to say, right?
Not my money, not my kids.
Yeah, I mean, there's a 40-man roster or however many you want to put at it, right? Why doesn't Clayton get partnered up with someone at the opposite end of the spectrum and kind of big burrow it up for the team? And so, like, people like Beatty or, the lower-end players like Lux, maybe, or whoever doesn't have as much money, right? Like, young guys, partner them up a little bit and like have the older player, the veteran, sponsor the younger player for the year because they have the money, right? And then that's just a team basis. I think there's a lot of great residual effects from that, from building good team camaraderie. It's good big brother experience. It might help out a little bit, and it's just maybe. I don't know. It's just that I think I just hate the part that Kershaw was put in that spot. And I see the comments just like you. And I think it's wrong that people are commenting on him. He got set up to answer. There's no right answer for him.
No, either way in that situation, he's wrong. And Roach brings up a good point over on Periscope. He says, especially considering the situation that we're all in right now, you can't leave your wife to handle a newborn. The first couple months are the toughest, no sleep whatsoever. And to an extent, he's right in the sense that maybe, for a guy who makes that much money, you have help in the past, and you have people, you can pay people to help you and take care of it. You can't do that right now.
No, I agree. Yeah.
You're in situations where you can't really have people coming over to help because, everyone's going to stay at home. They're all locked in. There's no work like that. It's not safe. And so it's a really specific situation where, it's just going to be his wife probably at home with the rest of the kids and on her own with a newborn. So I agree. They definitely put him in a spot where it's like no matter what he says, like he was going to get torn apart for it, and he's paying for it.
They went the opposite end of the spectrum, though. That was Hartung's third interview in that same vein. Although I think it was the first one where that specific question about the biodome was asked. But he talked to JT about it, and JT's like we've said, the opposite end of the spectrum. JT's the guy who has no kid; he just has wife and podcast right now. So it's not something he has to worry so much about. I think Hartung also asked Stripling as well. So you're getting both vantage points from it, but somebody like Kershaw, who's such a family guy, you understand. Of course, he's going to have that answer, and it's it's his right to want to be with his family, and he knows that this game isn't the most important thing in the world for him. At best, he's got another 6 years in this game, and then it's family. So you'd hate to throw away those few months with the kid, even if the kid doesn't remember it isn't going to get anything out of it.
No, there's definitely the memories of it. I mean, like I said, month 3, 4, and 5 are freaking they're pretty damn fun to find out the personality of the kid, right? And I understand about you don't want to leave your wife to take care of that. There are sleepless nights, so Alfredo, you're right. It is special. Looking back at it, I mean, I bet in the middle of it, I would have wished I wasn't there. But but looking back at it, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was fun and everything. This is the only thing that irks me, and this is what I talked about last week. If Clayton Kershaw's a leader. If he goes back, a lot of people will fall in line and go back with him. Okay, the effects of him going back is that he's going to be able to not just put money in his pocket, but put money in pockets of people in Major League Baseball's ecosystem, right? Mm-hmm. Those people who don't have jobs right now. Even we're going down to people who are just custodians or janitors who have to clean up after these damn players at the minor league. I mean, think about those people. I think if Clayton, you asked me, Gary, would you do it? I have an 8 and 5-year-old right now, right? Would you go and skip 4 months right now, knowing all of this? I think I would. I mean, and that's just me. I would skip 4. I would go out for 4 months, earn the family a little paycheck, and make and know that what I'm doing is helping put a small paycheck in a lot of people that I'll never meet. You got to think about those kind of things before you just answer, "Oh, I wouldn't do it." Your action will not affect thousands of people.
I would also argue though that him not playing and him choosing to not play would not have an adverse effect on the younger guys, because the young guys need to make money. They have to go out. They have to.
They would thank him for the opportunity. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things.
We get a chance now. There's a roster spot that's open. Thank you so much. That we don't have to spend $35 million on you this year. Thank you so much for that opportunity. Great. Now I get to play.
I have 2 responses to
both
this.
Sides.
Mm-hmm. I have 2 responses to this. One, that's something that Jerry Hairston mentions. We're going to get to some of his clips in a minute. Anybody wants to watch that whole interview, go check it out. YouTube.com/DodgersNationTV. We got a whole ass interview with Jerry Hairston. Fantastic interview. I mean, I was legitimately cracking up at some of the stuff this guy's saying. He's got a podcast coming out too, so make sure to check out Jay Hair. But back in the olden times, even before Gary's day, granted, it wasn't the same kind of money, but in the war times, you got people. Ted Williams was sent to frickin' war, and they brought up these weird ass random 17-year-old kids and whatever. Baseball now, if there are players if it's 10% of players that are saying no for sure, or even 30%, should that out rank the other 70% that want to play and that kind of need to play to survive?
I think from the eyes of baseball, though, if you have 30% of established veterans that don't want to play this year, I don't think that makes a difference. I think you still push on and play. Like I think Major League Baseball is going to make a lot more money off of it, even without those. Maybe you don't have the stars necessarily that you want in the game, but people are still going to watch. There's still going to be television deals that come from it. There's still going to be advertising deals that still come from it. And on top of that, you don't have to pay those stars anymore. So I mean, you look at it.
It might be a win-win. Yeah.
It might actually be good for the owners. Like this could end up working out in the favor of the owners in the sense of like, hey, we might actually make some money and recoup some of the ticket sales that we've lost because they are losing a hell of a lot of ticket sales.